The KDKA Sports Desk is brought to you by Xfinity.
All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. No Ben Roethlisberger this week, but Mason Rudolph will get to start in the second preseason game. He was the backup in the first one, came in relief of Josh Dobbs, had a pretty good game in that first game, the preseason opener. 5 for 8, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns, 141 passer rating. Now he'll get an extended opportunity and an opportunity to start and continue to open eyes and battle for that backup job that's going on right now between him and Josh Dobbs. And speaking of Josh Dobbs will play in this game, but he'll take over after Mason Rudolph is done. Near the end of the first half, probably the second half, you'll see a lot of Josh Dobbs, and then Devlin Hodges will play after that. But don't count out Josh Dobbs for the backup job. This is a battle right now. Dobbs felt like he had a pretty good game, had something going in the offense, especially with his feet in that first game. But you know, he didn't throw any touchdown passes, but he picked up a couple big third downs, and he had a pretty good game, what he thought. So he'll get the second chance, and then they'll figure things out from there. But you know, games are weighted a little bit more than practice, so these guys have to open some eyes up, continue to impress and open eyes for Ben's backup job that Josh Dobbs won last year, beating out Landry Jones. And speaking of Landry Jones, he signed a big contract today, not in the NFL, but he signed a contract with the XFL. He's the first player to sign with the XFL, very first player, and he's the first quarterback. The XFL will try to sign 7 more quarterbacks, so there'll be 8 quarterbacks that are signed before October's draft, and then each team will get to pick which quarterback they want, and then we go from there. And February, the season starts for the XFL. Landry did have a workout with the Detroit Lions earlier this offseason, but obviously didn't make the team, and now he is with the XFL, the first player to sign with the XFL. Season starts in February. All right, we're going to get out to the phone lines right now, and we're going to go out to Mike out in Charleroi. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Richie, thank you for taking my call.
No problem. Thank you for calling.
Much has been said about nutting being so cheap, but he's a multi-billionaire. He's a smart man. He's a smart businessman. He deserves to make a profit, the same as you as a sportscaster deserve to try to make as much money as you can.
Yep.
And any other businessman, they deserve to make as much money as they can. A lot's been said, like increase the payroll, which will increase the winning and get more people in there. That's not necessarily the case. If you look back to their playoff years, 14, 15, and 16.
Mike, what are you trying to say? I mean, the guy's making $50 to $100 million a year. There's a little bit difference between what he makes and what I make and what you make and everyone else makes. I understand about making a profit, but this guy is ruining baseball in this city.
I understand that. I agree with you on that. But increasing the payroll isn't necessarily going to increase the attendance. If you look back,
you might be right about that, but it's going to increase their chance of winning. So, I mean, do you not want that? It's not your money. Why is this bothering you? It's not your money. They should be spending more money. They're $60 million below league average, second lowest payroll in the majors. It's embarrassing.
It's not bothering me. I'm just saying, the guy, what he's doing.
I understand what he's doing. He's a good businessman. He should continue to be a good businessman at Seven Springs and in the newspaper business. But you got to have a little bit of pride when you own a sports team. You know, this should be your secondary business.
I agree with you.
Okay, well, if you agree with me, I appreciate the call, Mike. Got me a little fired up there. Let's go out to Pete in Squirrel Hill. What's up, Pete?
How's my main man Rich doing tonight?
No, I'm doing good. I'm a little fired up right now, Pete.
Rich,
it sounds like he was a nutting supporter, and you know I just can't take that right now.
Well, he might have like the winter pass for Seven Springs or Hidden Valley.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, and that business is failing too. No one's skiing anymore. It rains all the time.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, Rich, listen. I want to give you 3 examples of quotes I heard recently, and I want you to give me your favorite one.
Go ahead.
2 weeks ago, when the Pirates were in the midst of that horrible, horrible baseball, Bob Nutting said, "Don't forget, we're still in this thing."
That was Neil Huntington, yeah.
Neil Huntington, I'm sorry.
Yeah, technically speaking, yeah.
After Tuesday night's game in Anaheim, they asked Clint Hurdle after the game, well, you won 2 in a row and everything after that horrible stretch of baseball and everything. I bet this feels good. He says, well, this just goes to show you that these guys are capable of special things. Okay? Last night, Rich, the post-game show, Garrett Jones was pinch hitting for Michael McHenry. After the game, Rob King says, well, at least we won our first series since the All-Star break. It should be a little bit more pleasant a ride home. Garrett Jones says, well, when you can beat a great team like the Angels 2 out of 3, you're headed in the right direction. Rich, the Angels can't field a pop-up, a ground ball, or do a rundown just like the Pirates. What is Garrett Jones watching? A great team.
Well, Pete, these guys are paid by the Pirates. It's a Pirates broadcast station. Now, I love Rob King. I think he's great at what he does. They are heading in the right direction to take 2 out of 3 against the Angels. I don't disagree with what Rob King said there. But I think sometimes players, when you have like a Garrett Jones come in and a Michael McHenry, not to be critical of them, but they're not as critical because they're closer to the team. They just were playing baseball a few years ago, and they know some of these guys, so they don't want to be overly critical right away because they feel like, hey, these are still my buddies out there. After they become removed for a few years from baseball or football or whatever, that's when you see guys start to become more critical and start to do better, be able to analyze the game a little bit better and to be able to critique players more. I think a lot of players, it's a fine line for them. They don't want to hurt their friends' feelings. And I think that's where you might be with Garrett Jones. I didn't get to watch a post-game series, but, I'll tell you what. I don't like the try harder thing. They tried hard tonight. Everyone tries hard. They got to start winning. And the only way they're going to start winning, Pete, and we always know that. We talk about this every day on this show. I love when people call in to just vent a little bit, because it's tough. Everywhere I go, people want to talk to me about the Pirates, not about the Steelers. They want to vent about the Pirates and their frustration. So there are Pirates fans out there. This is a baseball town, and I think nutting is ruining baseball here with the model how they're trying to run the Pirates. It's a shame that small market baseball exists. It really is, because it's just not. It's not right that he can get away with having a $60 million payroll when that's $60 million below league average. There's got to be a floor, and you're never going to get a floor without a cap. Still there, Pete? All right, well, thanks for calling, Pete. I appreciate it. We got the phone lines jam-packed, and we'll get to all the callers coming up next. Stay right there.